Well, there's an old saying in this financial services world that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We'll talk about that with a leading wealth manager next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, it always amazes me how some people will spend more time looking at fantasy football than they do their nest egg and planning for retirement. And frankly, there are far too many seniors who get ready to retire and then they're told by their financial advisor, I'm sorry, you can't afford to retire. To talk about that today, Christi Staib. She is the founder of Silver Sail Wealth Advisors. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And I love what you're doing because you really get to know your clients. Let's talk about your journey. How did it start for you?
Oh my gosh, well, I just started learning about finances because we lived on a ranch when I was a teenager and we were pretty darn poor. And so one day I was like, why is it that we have no money and other people have all they need? So I started studying it as a teenager and I just started doing the things that I learned. So, saving 10%, etc. And as I went through college, put myself through college, I was also helping other people in my life thinking about their finances. And then I met the man of my dreams. And we got married and was traveling around. And one day we were scuba diving in Cozumel. And unfortunately, on that day, he drowned. And it was, it changed my life. It was very, very hard. And for 2 years, I went to counseling. I went to widow groups. And what I found was I was helping the widows with their newfound financial predicament. And it was the reason why I'm here, because I didn't want to be here after Rick died. And so I went and got my license and started helping widows and couples and other people, and founded Silver Sail Wealth Advisors in 2010. And the business is growing, and it fills my heart to be able to help other people.
Sure. And I know this is a very common story. Couples married for 50 years, husband suddenly passes, wife doesn't know anything about the finances, doesn't even know, where to find basic information. And that's something that you're on a mission to change that.
Yeah, both when both couples are alive, helping both, because sometimes the woman does all the bill paying. It's not always the man, usually is. But, that's normal and it's okay. But for both of them to be aware of where's the life insurance policies, where everything is, and a little bit about how to do budgeting, etc. So I'm helping couples now, and widows and widowers do come to us, and we help them through that transition because there's a lot of emotion that you're thinking, I can't possibly think about my finances. And we help through that part. And then we go through, what is your life like next? It's more around the thinking of what next chapter do I want to have, and how do I want to set up myself, my family, for the legacy that I want to leave.
Yes, and we're living longer, and so the traditional retirement age of 65. If you retire at 65, you better be set up because you could live to 95.
It's true. It's true. In fact, I am studying about longevity, life and longevity, and I think that there are so many things today that are available for our skin, our organs to be replenished, to be back to where you were when you were 30, let's say. And we can live a long, healthy life where your health span equals your lifespan. And how do we make sure that we have enough money in place to enjoy that?
And Christi, you have the heart of a teacher. We've got some video of you speaking. I know at least pre-COVID you did a ton of speaking. What were some of the topics that you were called to speak to?
Oh, well, there was titles like Money, Mayhem, and Mystery, where we talked about, gosh, sometimes it's a mystery about how the money savings investment works. So we did a little bit of educating on what is that and how to best do it for your own life. And we talked about, for widows and the grief that they're experiencing. And we also talked to couples, because a lot of couples don't have long-term care insurance, that kind of thing. And everybody thinks, oh, Medicare will take care of me, when indeed it does not. So a lot of good education around the finances and how you're feeling about your life.
Sure. And I think it's so important that people get to know your heart, Christi, because when I come to a financial services website and I see magna cum laude, this and that, and all those alphabet soup of credentials, it doesn't mean anything to me. You have to like your advisor because
True.
You're going to be bringing this person into your life and sharing some of your innermost secrets.
It's true. That's true. Yeah, and it's not just innermost secrets, but secrets around the family and your wants and wishes for those family members. And we really do help out family stewards, the ones who really care about their family, their community, and the world at large. And we get to really know what it is that they're trying to do and try to align the money and finances, insurance, et cetera, around that.
Yeah, I was on your YouTube channel as I was preparing for the show. I was just so impressed with all the content you're creating. Look at some of those titles, Loving Life Again. I mean, you deal with grief, you deal with so many different things. How do you choose your topics?
Well, some of it has to do with my own life and what struggles I went through. And I've essentially gone down the path. I've done that. I've gone through probate. I've experienced that grief. And how can I help the next person go down that path with a lot more ease and perhaps, know that they are cared for, that they're loved, that they're important, and how can we, again, align their finances and their thinking around what they want to do next. So a lot of it has to do with what my life was.
Sure, and I know we're both fans of the great Warren Buffett.
Yes.
We've got a picture of you and Warren Buffett. How many years ago was this?
I think that was in 2005 or 6.
Okay, what was the occasion?
Oh my gosh, we were at a NetJets convention, and Warren was or probably still is, an owner of NetJets, and we were part of a really fun thing for NetJet owners, which was a poker tournament. And Warren was one of the people playing. Now, he's not all that great at poker. Mm-hmm. He's really good at investing. And the person who got to get him out, take all his chips, got to win a prize. So it was pretty fun.
Okay, as long as we're talking about Warren Buffett, he is so wise. And some of the things that, if you don't know about Warren Buffett, famously, he lives in the same home that he bought, I think, in the 50s.
Yep.
And it's a modest home in Omaha.
It is, and so for him and for many people, I want to be able to live life now in a meaningful way. It doesn't have to be opulent, but also prepare for what's next. And I call that win-win, what's important now and what's important next, W-I-N, W-I-N. So how do we do it like Warren, where we can live a really great life now and also save for the future? And for him, he didn't have to have a new car all the time. So there's some lessons that we can learn from him in our daily lives.
And when it comes to investing, he's not chasing the next meme stock.
No.
He's not investing in Bitcoin and all that stuff that so many millennials and Gen Zs get involved in just because their friend made a bunch of money in a month.
It's true. A lot of the things that he thinks about is, kind of like, where is the puck going? Mm-hmm. What's going to be happening next? And if a bank stock or something has gone way down, and he knows that people will be borrowing money for getting a house, sending a kid to school, he knows that buying it while it's low and feels scary will be great for the future.
Yeah, let's talk about the emotion of investing, because I look at a long-term investment strategy is seeing an entire football game. But if you watch CNBC or Fox Business, you're seeing one play of a football game. And just because the quarterback got sacked doesn't mean they're going to lose this game.
Well, that's true, and I love that you brought up like a game, because most people have watched some kind of game that's very important to them, and they have this emotion around where it is. But to your point, when you know the whole what happened, you can look back and watch film and not have that emotion around it, and that's something that we help people think through.
Sure.
You know, I know right now, today as we're filming this, the markets are very, very scary. We have a war going on, but you know, if we look out into the future, there's going to be some good things going on.
Sure.
And it's a good time to be investing.
And you like to meet clients ideally in the first quarter rather than the fourth quarter.
of the game, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's suppose the people are late to the game, and you're meeting them. It's in the fourth quarter. Are there ways that they can invest and manage their money so that they can make up for lost time?
Yeah, and I think that what we might want to say is that what you're talking about is the fourth quarter of the football game analogy, not like the fourth quarter of the year.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're 60 or 70 and you're wanting to retire, there are some tools, financial tools that are available for everyone. That is something that my team and I study a lot. What kind of tools can you utilize? So there are some things that we can set up for those who are just now figuring out that they want to have enough to retire and maybe even leave a legacy, leave stuff for their kids, grandkids. And we shine at that.
Okay, Christi, there's going to be people watching this broadcast who say, I think I just found my wealth manager. If somebody wants to contact you, what is the next step? I mean, there's no obligation. They can sit down with you and see if it's a fit, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need to both really like each other because this is a lifelong journey that we take together. So we would get together, and these days it's easy to do that via Zoom or phone or in person, and we will essentially take the information and the wants and needs that you have and put that into what I call a financial plan light. So we can kind of say, hey, this is how your life is going and how you've got it set up. And it might be that you've got it set up well and you don't have to change a thing. And you can sleep well at night because you've essentially got a second opinion from us. Or it might be that there's just a little tweak. You might need some insurance, some property and casualty, some little tweak that we can help with, and you continue along your way. Or we could also show how we might be able to help all the way across from investing to estate planning to working with the CPAs on your taxes. Because, if you pay taxes at 25, 30%, sometimes that's more money out of your account than what's going on in the stock market.
Wow. Christi, you've been a great guest. We're going to have you back again soon. We're going to end with the website, which is silversailwealthadvisors.com. Christi, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.